If you want to stay up to date with all current hip hop events and releases, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications to become part of this community. So I just finished listening to Testing, A$AP Rocky's 2018 third studio album that's gotten mixed reviews because it kind of departed from that very, A$AP Rocky sound that he established with, for example, Love Live A$AP that kind of, burst him onto the scene, his first mixtape, then Long Live A$AP, his debut studio album, and At Long Last A$AP, his second studio album, which already introduced more of a psychedelic sound, but still had that kind of pretty boy swag, girls and all that stuff as his content matter, while Testing did take a more mature and serious approach. I'm not saying Rocky was kind of a dumbed down artist before that, not at all. He's had, amazing deep tracks like Leaf on his first mixtape. He's always found that perfect balance of conveying his lifestyle that may be a bit flashy, that may be a bit, fast paced, but still being able to reflect on it and make, great sounding, kind of touching you on a deeper level music. And that's why I always loved Rocky, because he really portrayed that persona. The other week I dropped a video talking about his GQ article, because he was the cover for GQ last week, and he did an interview with, GQ, of course, which always comes with the cover story. He talked about his personal life, his fashion influences, his relationship with Rihanna, because they are officially dating now. And among other things, one thing that I focus on in that video is him talking about his new album that is, kind of before the fact, called All Smiles. He's teased that name several times. And today I wanted to talk about All Smiles and what my expectations for that record are, because in that last video, I more so talked about what he said and not what I, imagined from it and I'm excited for. Now, this whole introduction about Testing was because I believe Rocky has really shown a great artistic evolution, throughout his whole career. When you listen to his discography from start to finish, you see that there is kind of a theme of more seriousness, more maturity stretching throughout the whole thing, because that's just the development that he went through as a person in his private life. And I love when artists are very authentic, very genuine, and always portray that development and that evolution they have in their personal lives in their music as well. A lot of artists try to make the same sound again because that's like the formula that has worked for them, but are not really there in their real life anymore. And that's why, maybe they fall off because it's not as authentic anymore. And that's something that I really got out of that Rocky interview with GQ that I think he has really taken care of. He's always shown us his real self in whatever expression he chooses, to go with. He's done this with fashion, with movies, with music, with his interviews, with whatever he's saying. So that's why I respect him a lot. And I feel the sense that when you listen to his music, that's really like a peek into his mind and not just him making music for people to like. Which is always great to have with an artist because that gives you a deeper personal connection to them. This is further, kind of emphasized by the fact that he says that he's not recording in studios anymore, but rather while he's on the road and experiencing different things, so that will contribute to that further. This evolution of Rocky from being like this careless living, person that of course has setbacks in their lives. A$AP Yams passed away, his father passed away, both, did before two major releases of him, which affected him deeply and heavily, but he always kind of smiled through the pain. And as he grows older, this man is about to be like 32, 33 now, he starts to maybe take a more reflective approach on this, and that's also what we'll see on this new record, I believe. And that's where, we're getting into specifically what I want from this. Rocky has proven with Testing that he doesn't have to rely on like the formula that's worked for him in the past. He experimented with a lot of new sounds, with a lot of new collaborators, and found his niche in this very psychedelic but still very artistic expression of hip hop. And I believe that is kind of where his perfection lies, where he can truly be himself, because he also said in that interview, if he just does the same sound again, the same visuals again, then, people have heard that. They can go back and listen to his whole discography. And so, Rocky's someone who said that, your music got to match your video got to match your car got to match your girl. So he's someone who is very obsessed with a vision, with an artistic vision that he tries to then, through the music, through the visuals that he, has in connection with the music, then try to express. We've seen him take a way more kind of thought out concept with the videos for testing. The videos were kind of connected. They were all done in the same theme, maybe aside from like Praise the Lord. So that really gives the feeling of, being what you're listening to, being some part of something greater, part of this project that Rocky did that is not just audible with the music, but also visual with, the videos. And that makes it so much more authentic. And Rocky has really proven that he's someone who can convey that very well, that he's someone who, is talented in, imagining these things and then putting them out in the world in a way that people can appreciate. And so All Smiles, I hope we can see yet another stage in Rocky's evolution as a person, and in that same sense as Rocky as an artist. I hope we get, crazy visuals that we've never seen from him before. Nothing too crazy, necessarily, crazy visual effects, but rather like him trying to tell a story, him trying to express how he's feeling deep inside, and not just making songs for the sake of making songs and, getting hype around them. I think Rocky is not going to do that, because then he wouldn't have taken such a long break from music and such a long break from the limelight. The last thing we've heard from him was Babushka Boy 2019, and what we've heard so far with Sandman is amazing. Now, if Sandman is going to make it on All Smiles, which maybe it will, then that is exactly what I'm hoping for, because that song was, when you listen, you feel just kind of like Rocky is there in his space. He's a very creative person. He does his fashion thing, he does his music thing, and they're all very connected. I mean, he starts off with my mind like George Lucas, I think like Stanley Kubrick. So he's comparing himself to two of the greatest directors of all time, and I believe Rocky himself is somewhat of a director, like an artistic, creative director, not just in his fashion, sense, but also in the music and in whatever he's doing. That's why I'm so excited for All Smiles. I believe this will be a very influential record. Maybe not publicly, appreciated, but just when you hear it, you just know it's there, and you know how important it is. So that's kind of my thoughts on this. I'm very excited for All Smiles. What we've heard so far is amazing with Sandman, and I'm hoping he can further build on that and, just make the sound his own. That's all I'm hoping for. Anyway, let me know what you think about this. Are you excited for All Smiles? Do you love to see Rocky evolve as a person? How long have you been listening to A$AP Rocky? And what do you expect from All Smiles? Let me know in the comments down below. If you watched this video to the end and liked it, and you want to stay up to date with all current hip-hop events and releases, make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, hit that like button, and go follow my social media and blog down in the description. It really helps me out. Until the next one, y'all have an incredible day, and y'all take care.